movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale our no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund? Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for game night. Getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket!
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And a very pleasant good afternoon to you. Welcome into game night right here, Sactown Sports 1140. Scott Marsh along with the high flyer, Henry Turner. I'm coming to you live from UC Davis today. The Aggies have their season finale home game tonight. They'll take on Hawaii. And, of course, we're here to talk Kings basketball. The Kings, Game 4, the 5-game road trip in Dallas today. The Texas three-step, I guess, earlier in Austin when they took on San Antonio. Then, of course, last night in Houston. High flyer, obviously, last night was a step back from what we saw in the win against Memphis. Obviously, getting blown out, that was a big problem. But bigger than that, the injury to Keegan Murray. Hate to see him sprain that left ankle again, and who knows when we might see him again.
Yeah, number one thing was the injury to Keegan. You know, Scooter, when he went down, I was like, oh, no. Oh, no. That's the worst possible thing that can happen. He just got back. You know, and for him to re-injure that ankle and go down again, you know, Keegan Murray's whole season has been injury-riddled big time. And, you know, and for everything that's going on, all the speculation, all the questions, he's the number one guy that we need to have in a situation where he's secure about himself.
No doubt. And obviously it's just been such an incredibly tough year for him. It started with him on the IL, came back, injured again, coming back, and for the third time this year is going to miss significant time, most likely, for Sacramento. And that's after, obviously, signing the huge extension, the 4-year contract. And I think at this point in the year, we were just hoping to get a chance to see him as much with all the other new players and see how that nucleus could look going into next year.
Right. You know, and we're looking at him to do some big things, you know. Particularly looking at him being a number one, being the alpha for this team, trying to see, okay, can Keegan Murray be that guy? And, you know, we actually thought that we were going to get a chance to see that. But, you know, injuries is a part of the game, but it's a tough part of the game.
It's an extremely tough part of the game. And obviously for Sacramento as well, they come off the win against Memphis last night. It really felt like a non-compete against the Rockets, and I guess that's what we're going to expect throughout the remainder of this year, but you're hoping that the compete level at least remains consistent.
Yeah, number one, the compete level. And then, you know, for me, Scooter, like I said, I'm still trying to find little bitty, you know, wins and all of this. And one thing that I want to see from all the players, you know, I really want to see their basketball IQ just go a little bit higher. Understanding that, yeah, this is your first time around going through these things, but you're going to make mistakes. We know that. You're rookie players, you're sophomore year players, but at the end of the day, start thinking about them and then making different and better decisions. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, we're looking at two players who are on 10-day contracts right now with Killian Hayes, Patrick Baldwin Jr. What did you like or what did you see from them last night?
Oh, I mean, last night, Scott, it was real tough to just, you know, see anything because, you know, Houston had their way. It was definitely a one-sided game. You know, I did see some guys that try to do some good things. Get up and down the floor. The one thing that I always, try to hold face on with this basketball team is that they don't quit, because that's the easiest thing to do when you're in a situation like this. You could just, throw your hands up and say, oh, well, it's going to be what it's going to be. But if you keep coming out, keep trying to compete at a high level, even though if it might not happen, as long as you're trying to compete, I'm going to give you a plus on that side.
Yeah, for sure. That's the number one thing. A lot of talk today about Russell Westbrook. Obviously, he got up a lot of shots early in the game. How do you balance Westbrook when he's going off, having a good game, versus wanting to see everybody else play and move that ball around?
Well, here's the thing, Scooter. Russ is Russ. We know that. If you have him out there on the basketball floor, he's going to give you 150%. I don't think it's no toning Russ down. If you don't like, or if you're not, happy with what Russ puts out there on the floor, just don't play him.
Well, that's the thing that Doug really has to balance, because Westbrook deserves to have his year too. I mean, him and DeRozan.
Right.
Look what DeMar did last year, getting into the top 20 all-time scoring in last night's game. I mean, they've got a lot of things they're doing from a career standpoint. It's hard to penalize them at the same time with what the Kings are going through right now.
You know what? It's really tough. Like you said, it isn't easy, but you have to look at it like this, Scooter. The DeMar situation and the Russell situation is a personal accolade best. It's their personal stats. For where this team is trying to go and what they're trying to do, on some situations, you have to do what's best for the team. And what's best for the team might not be able to have DeMar and Russell out there all the time.
That's a great point, and obviously it is about the team, and it's also about how long are you going to play the veterans to try and win games versus trying to get everybody else in there to find out what you've got for next year too. It's a tough balancing act for sure.
It really is, Scooter, because, we talked about it the other day. I was like, it just depends upon where you're sitting, right? If you're a young player, you're going out there and you're playing your heart out, because this is your NBA life that you're trying to deal with. If you're on the other side, if you're on basketball side and you're on the management side, well, you're not really looking at wins and losses like that. If we win, fine. If we lose, even better, right? Yeah. But if you're sitting in Doug Christie's seat, you want to win every game possible.
For sure you do. And I guess, shouldn't just really just mention what DeMar DeRozan did last night, but to get into the top 20 all-time in scoring, another unbelievable accomplishment for Debo. And you've got Westbrook right there who's sitting in 14. You've got two of the top 20 all-time scorers in league history on your team, and you're going through this type of year. It's hard to process, really.
That's the crazy thing about it, Scooter. When you look at the totality of what's going on here, like you said, you got DeMar, you got Russ, who's putting up historic numbers, and then you have probably one of the best rebounders to come through this league in a long time in Sabonis.
Yep.
And then you have one of the most athletic players to come through this league in a long time in Zach LaVine. Why isn't this working?
It's hard to figure. Obviously, LaVine, Sabonis, they're out for the remainder of the year. We'll see how long Keegan Murray will be out, and you just feel bad for Keegan. You feel bad for the organization, because truly in his fourth year, you're hoping, as you give him the contract extension, you want to see what year four, how he's going to build off of the first three, and it just hasn't turned out that way for Keegan Murray. You hate to see it, but it's kind of a lost year for him.
It really is, Scooter. And, when you look at it at this particular point, do you even want Keegan to come back? At this particular point, it's almost a situation where you shut Keegan down and say, hey, man, you know what? Get yourself 150% healthy, and we're going to bring it back next year and run this thing back. Because to keep trying to bring you back and you keep injuring old injuries and things like that keep happening, the full season's over with. So don't rush that young man back.
No, and that's a great point. And they won't rush him back, clearly. And it's the same ankle, right? That's the thing that's a little bit concerning, that it's the second time. Now, could be totally unrelated. You never know for sure on that. You always say, if somebody's 100% healthy, you play them. But given all the circumstances, everything you mentioned, it might look a little different this time.
I mean, Scooter, yes. Let's say, for example, if Keegan comes back, he says, I want to play it again, and you got 8 more games left. I mean, yeah, you could play him, but it might be more detrimental to Keegan if you put him out there and play him again and he roll it one more time. It's like, for 8 games, really? So you really have to be smart with that.
Yeah, you're not going to roll the dice, that's for sure. It's just one of those deals where, again, if it's not real serious, he is 100%. It'll be interesting to see if and when we see him back. Obviously, Houston in a much different circumstance right now as they got their 36th win last night. Another chance to look at them. They split the season series with the Kings. As you see them one final time, at least playing Sacramento, any further thoughts on if this truly is a championship contender or not? What did you see last night?
Nope, Scooter, I feel the exact same. I feel like the Houston Rockets, they're good enough. They have enough talent to get to the show. But I still think they are one man removed from being able to make that long haul to be able to get that championship ring. And I think he's sitting in retirement. I really think Chris Paul can help this basketball team, or somebody that has the mindset of Chris Paul, because what happens with Houston is that everything goes good for them until you really need somebody to set things up on the offensive end late games and get quality shots. And Chris Paul is one of the best in the business at that.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously that wasn't a question last night at all. The two things obviously standing out, Sengun and what he was able to do last night, no surprise, but a triple-double for him. He continues to impress. And then Reed Shepherd, 16 three-point attempts, made 7 of them, had too many easy looks last night.
I mean, at the end of the day, Scooter, our defense isn't at a Herculean effort, okay? So for guys to get open shots, if you a shooter, you can knock down shots against the Sacramento Kings. If you're a big man that can go down and score, we are very, very shy in the big man division. So, Keegan Murray goes out, we don't have too much rim protection. So if you're a big man that can score, yeah, you can get triple-double.
Yeah, the Rockets 17 threes last night. The Kings were just 7 of 32 from distance. That's 22% shooting beyond the arc. And that's something that's been a problem for the Kings all season long on both ends. 3-point defensive shooting and obviously 3-point shooting itself. And that's something that the team has to address here.
The way I see this basketball team, Scooter, is that, on my end, everybody isn't free to shoot threes. I know you would love to have a team to where everybody can come down and just let it go from the 3-point line. If you got guys of that caliber, then okay, that's who you are. But evidently, that's not who we are, because we're struggling to knock down threes. So I would have straight 3-point shooters. Everybody else, you better get to your spot to where you can knock down a shot.
All right, that's a look back at last night. We'll turn the page. Obviously, it's a quick turnaround for the Kings back-to-back, the Texas two-step going from Houston to Dallas tonight. When we come back, we'll talk about the Mavs. Henry, I know you've had a good long-time friendship with Jason Kidd. We'll talk about that a little bit. The Mavs are missing a lot of pieces as well. Most likely Cooper Flagg not playing tonight. We'll break them down a little bit when we come back. It's game night. It's always brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience for yourself how the Power of Family can help you with all your business copier needs. Give them a call today, 1-844-POWER-BZ, or go to powercopiers.com. More of game night right here, Sactown Sports 1140.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the 3-point shot.
Get your Kings picks all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
When the final buzzer sounds, the action keeps going with the Sactown Sports Live events calendar. March 15th, rock legends Jefferson Starship take the stage at Hard Rock Live Sacramento, bringing decades of classic hits and high-energy performance. Then, March 20th through the 22nd, Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live storms into the Cal Expo grandstands with massive trucks, big air, and edge-of-your-seat thrills the whole family will love. April 18th, international comedy star Russell Peters delivers a night of sharp, non-stop laughs at Thunder Valley. On May 1st, the iconic James Taylor Diller performs live at Tahoe Blue Event Center for an evening of timeless songs and unforgettable moments. Friday, June 12th, country star Keith Urban brings his electrifying live show to the Nugget Event Center in Reno. And on August 16th, Kane Brown takes over Ironstone Amphitheater in Murphys for a summer night packed with chart-topping country hits, concerts, comedy, and can't miss live entertainment. Find your next big event now on the Sactown Sports Live Events calendar.
Business moves fast, and so do we. At Bank of Marin, we team up with businesses in the greater Sacramento area to help you drive the lane and score big. With dedicated relationship bankers and local decision making, we help you move quickly, whether you're upgrading equipment, buying your next building, streamlining cash flow, or fueling growth. From expansion to investment, we're ready to help you win. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Get ready, Sacramento. The Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo, March 5th through March 8th. It's 2 huge shows, 1 massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at 2hugeshows.com.
Hi, this is Adam Warner, co-owner of the historic Firehouse Restaurant in Old Sacramento. We're celebrating 65 years of excellence this season. Come visit us where our motto is guests first. We are locally owned and have been in the capital city since 1960. Come experience our finest steaks, chops, and fresh seafood. The Firehouse also has the Central Valley's most awarded wine selection. Level up your pregame at the Firehouse for a quick and easy meal with valet parking for just $15.
Right now at Elk Grove Honda, you can lease a 2025 Accord Hybrid Sport Sedan for only $39.99 down, including first payment due at lease inception, excluding tax and license. 35 monthly payments of $299 plus tax, license, and 0 security deposit on approved credit. Mileage in excess of $10,000 per year at 20 cents per mile. It really is the least you can do. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or on the web at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Welcome back into Game Night right here, Sactown Sports 1140. Scott Marshall on with the High Flyer. Live from UC Davis. The Aggies have their final home game of the year. I'll be a part of that broadcast. Of course, the Kings and Dallas Mavericks coming your way at 5:30 today right here on Sactown Sports. And High Flyer, let's talk about the Mavs a little bit. You're good friends with Jason Kidd. You've had a lifelong friendship with him. You come from the same area. Jay Kidd just recently getting his 200th win as the Mavs head coach. That came against Brooklyn yesterday as they're on part of a back-to-back as well. Obviously developing Cooper Flagg, who probably will not play tonight. There's been a lot of talk in Dallas about Cooper Flagg, whether he's really a point guard, whether he's not, whether Jason Kidd's been using him correctly or not. And I say, if anybody knows how to build a point guard, it's Jason Kidd. I would think you would agree with that.
No doubt. If it has to be built, I would definitely bring Jay Kidd in to be, the orchestrator of that. But when I look at Cooper Flagg, do I see point guard? No, I don't. Do I see a guy that can do a little bit of everything out there on the basketball floor? Yes, I do. And at the end of the day, if I was to ask Jason Kidd, where does he see Cooper Flagg best suited at? He would probably say the 2 or the 3. Kyrie Irving is still Dallas's point guard. When healthy, he will run that basketball team. Cooper Flagg will be another guy that's more than capable of handling the basketball, but he won't be the end-all, be-all guy to run that team.
Yeah, no doubt Kyrie probably will be the point guard when he's able to come back. Obviously, he's been out with the knee injury all season. There was some thought he might come back, but to the point the Mavs aren't going anywhere. They're not going to rush him back even if he could come back.
Not at all. That's the same thing we just go through talking about for Keegan. At this particular point, where the Dallas Mavericks are, they're like, hey, we're going to ride this thing out. Just keep developing Cooper. Let him play the full year, learn how to play, and then next year roll the dice and see what Kyrie is going to be able to do with this basketball team. But at this particular point, why rush back?
Yeah, what a crazy year for the Mavs, for Jason Kidd. Really going back to last year with the incredible trade before the deadline with Luka moving, AD coming in. AD's already gone from the Mavs. It's been an incredible roster turnaround for this team, a lot for Jay Kidd to deal with.
Oh, Jay Kidd definitely told me. He was like, man, if I wasn't bald, I'd have been pulled out all of my hair right now. He said, because it has been frustrating to say the least. Dealing with the Luka thing. And then he said, okay, we might be able to make this work if we can, get AD to be able to play. He said AD comes out his first game, looked very promising. Then he go down. He's like, well, man, how do I lose a once-in-a-generational type player for a guy who can't keep his street clothes off?
I know. We think about it in Sacramento, and it was just, 3 seasons ago, the Beam team and the 48 wins and all that. Well, when you think back to the Mavs just a few years ago, they were in the NBA Finals.
Right. Trying to make a push to, really get to that championship. And then all of a sudden, everything falls apart. You make a horrible trade, and then you have horrible injuries. AD go down, then Kyrie go down. You're done. You're stuck.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Mavs recover from all of this moving forward. And obviously, they have the anchor piece. And I think people in Sacramento, where the Mavs are right now, is perhaps where Sacramento could be next year. If the Kings somehow get the number 1 pick, they're going to have a great pick regardless. But if it's the number 1 pick and you end up taking Peterson from Kansas, or it's the Banza from BYU, maybe it's Boozer from Duke, you're going to have that star player at least to follow next season, even if the wins aren't there what you would like the most, of course, but at least you're going to have some star power.
You're going to have some star power, Scott, but I always say, you have to get that rookie in here, and you're going to have to put him in the best possible position to succeed. We've seen some very high draft picks come out, and we think they're supposed to be stars. We think they're supposed to be franchise-changing players, but it just doesn't happen because they don't come into the right situation. Everything has to be set up right for this to happen.
True. And not all number 1s are alike, too. I mean, Cooper Flagg is a generational type number 1 pick. Even though the draft's great next year, there may not be anybody at Cooper Flagg's level.
Right. And from what we're looking at, the draft is deep. A lot of good players. But we've seen drafts like this before, and we've seen guys come out at a very high number and, really be bust. The last guy I thought about, I was like, wow, where is Hassan Thabit? The dude came out number 2 and played, 2 years at the most?
Right.
Straight bust. Didn't get a chance to do it.
No doubt. And speaking of number 2s, we're going to see a former Kings number 2 tonight with Marvin Bagley back out on the floor. And high flyer, he's finding his rhythm in Dallas of late. Had 22 points last night, 10 of 13 from the floor, had 5 rebounds. And, he's starting to make a little bit of a mark in Dallas, getting an opportunity, making the most of it.
Scooter, I was just talking to the Drive guys about that. And I always go back to, just the tangible things. I said, Marvin Bagley wasn't a bad player. I said, Marvin Bagley, first of all, came to an organization that said, okay, Marvin, if you don't play like a superstar, we don't win, number 1. Mm-hmm. Number 2, you got to put the player in the right situation. Now you can't blame all of that on Sacramento because Marvin had been to plenty other teams to where he didn't get it going either. You just got to be in the right situation.
Yeah, and we'll see. And obviously Bagley getting an opportunity here in Dallas. He has bounced around the league. We know that. We'll see if he finds a sticking point perhaps in Big D. The Mavs still have Klay Thompson on the roster. I thought for sure he was going to be moved before the deadline, perhaps reuniting in Golden State. Obviously, the contract a little bit prohibitive, but I can't imagine Klay Thompson will be a guy with the Mavs moving forward. I got to think they're going to make a move with him in the offseason somewhere.
I honestly think Klay Thompson will be reuniting back with his Splash brother in Golden State before it's all said and done. Everybody is talking about, okay, before Klay hangs him up, they want him to hang him up as a Warrior. So I wouldn't doubt that he goes back to Golden State and say, okay, this is my last time.
I would think that. And then obviously when you talk about the Mavs and you mentioned a guy like P.J. Washington, although he's not going to play tonight, that's the quintessential type of guy who's always been a Kings killer.
Always like P.J. Washington, and really every time P.J. Washington has stepped in the goal and won, he's given the Kings everything that they'd asked for. Just a hard-nosed guy that plays hard and, goes after what he wants.
Yeah, he does. Obviously, he won't be there tonight. Expanded injury reports for both teams. We'll get that to you a little bit later on tonight. But for Sacramento, again, on a back-to-back, we want to see the effort. We want to see the commitment. And if anything, we're going to see more playing time from the 2 10-day contracts with Killian Hayes, Patrick Baldwin, in addition to all the other youth. I don't think we'll see big minutes tonight from either Westbrook or DeRozan.
Well, here's the deal. Killian Hayes is going to get a lot of playing time because Russell Westbrook is out. He has I think it was right thigh contusion. He's going to be out for the night. So Killian Hayes and DC is going to get a lot of run at that point guard position.
Yeah, there is no doubt about that. All right, when we come back, we'll take a look around the league. We'll get you caught up on the other games going on in the association, the other news as well. Game night's brought to you by the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento. You have a heart of service, you want to do something good in our community. One great thing you could do is become a volunteer mentor to a kid in our community who could use an outside mentor in their lives. For more information, go to bbbs-sac.org. Big Brothers, Big Sisters, proud sponsors of Game Night. More of Game Night coming your way right here. Sactown Sports, 1140.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Planet Fitness has everything you need, anytime the motivation hits. So you can give everything you've got. With most clubs open 24 hours, you've got access to our best-in-class equipment to tackle early morning reps, late-night miles, and every workout in between. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends February 27th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale on no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale, new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund? Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at PepsiPromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Going.
Hey everyone, Johnny Mosley here, kicking off your Thursday with the Toyota Tile Report. The Toyota's warmed up and pointed toward the mountains. So let's take a look at how conditions are shaping up today.
Thanks, Johnny. Mostly sunny skies across the mountains today with a high near 56 degrees. A slight chance of rain and snow overnight with snow levels dropping to around 7,500 feet after midnight. Lows in the low 30s. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, this is Henry Turner. No one likes waiting. Sometimes, even minutes can feel like an eternity. So imagine if you're a youth waiting for a mentor. It seems like years. Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area needs your help. More than 100 kids in the Sacramento, Yolo, and South Placer County are waiting for someone to defend their potential. Come on, Sacramento. Stand up. Let's do this the high flyer way. With your help, we can make this thing a slam dunk. Join us at bbbs.sac.org or call 916-646-9300.
Welcome back into game night right here, Sactown Sports 1140. Fourth game of the 5-game road trip for Sacramento. They will finish things out in LA against the Lakers on Sunday. That'll be a 6:30 tip before they come back home on Tuesday to take on the Phoenix Suns. We'll break down the matchup tonight against the Mavs in our next segment. But right now, let's go around the league. Let's get you caught up on the other games going on in the association on the Thursday night. You've got Charlotte at Indiana. The Pacers are vying for the worst record in the league with Sacramento. We know that 15-44 at home, 23-21 Pacers in that one. The Hornets are a team, high flyer. They're making a run. This is a team that's improved. LaMelo Ball kind of leading the way for Charlotte. They're 28-31. They've definitely worked themselves back into a play-in situation and a chance to make some noise in the East.
You know, I look at Charlotte and I think of a basketball team that says, okay, you know, we're finally healthy. We got some good guys. Let's see how far we can push this thing.
Yeah, that's where they're at right now. They've made quite a run to get back to where they are, just 3 games below 500. They're kind of like the Clippers of the West right now. 76ers and Heat tied at 25. Philly's a team that, you know, again, is kind of our dark horse, a team that could maybe make some noise in the East. Embiid, as he gets healthier, playing more minutes. They're sitting in that 6th spot. They're half game ahead of the Magic. They're 1.5 games up of Miami, taking them on tonight. If they could get a playoff seed, who knows with that combination of Embiid and Maxey. That's a tough 1-2 punch.
It is. And then when you sprinkle in Paul George and some of the other complementary players that they have enough to make a run. It's just all about, can that big fella stay healthy?
Yeah, no doubt. They're going to go as far as Embiid will let them go. And obviously it's been a long way back for him since winning the MVP award. You've got the Wizards and the Hawks tonight. Atlanta, another team right there hovering in an Eastern Conference play-in situation. They're 29-31. They're just 12-16 at home. Not a good home record as well. It'll be the second game for Jonathan Kuminga. We talked about it. His debut at Atlanta was special. 27.7 rebounds, 4 assists in 24 minutes. He'll get a chance to get more minutes there, and I like the way he fits in with that team. The Hawks, they've gone younger. They've gone more athletic. They've gone with some height. They moved Trae Young, obviously, to Washington. They're moving out some of the veterans, and I think they're putting themselves in a good position long term.
They really are, and they got a young nucleus of players that, you know, play a different style of game, play a more up-tempo style game. They go up and down. They play hard. They're long. They're lean. Jonathan Kuminga fits right in with them.
He does. It'll be interesting to see how consistent he can be with Atlanta. Obviously, he's going to get the opportunity he was hoping he was going to get in Golden State. You've got the Spurs and the Nets tonight. No hotter team in the league than San Antonio. They've won 9 straight. Wembanyama averaging 24 points, 11 rebounds, a little over 3 assists per ball game. Victor has put himself square in the MVP candidate watch. It's all going to come down to the number of games for everybody, right? Joker would be right there, but he probably won't qualify. SGA, as we talked about yesterday as well, is going to have a tough time getting to 65 games. That really leaves Jaylen Brown, Cade Cunningham are 2 of the solid contenders in the East. That's going to be really interesting to see, and how much it's going to be affected by guys who qualify and who don't.
Right, and is Brunson going to have enough games to be sprinkled off in there also?
It's going to be interesting, too, because he missed several games.
Right.
Turned that ankle in Sacramento. But he would be another one who would be right up there.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It's wide open.
Rockets, it is wide open. Rockets and Magic. You've got Houston in Orlando tonight, so they're on the back-to-back as well. Portland's in action tonight as well. Portland will be on the road in Chicago. You've got later on tonight Lakers and Suns. This is an interesting one. The Lakers are 34-23. You've got Phoenix at 33-26. No Dillon Brooks. Are the Suns going to be able to keep up in the West without Dillon Brooks?
Oh, that's going to hurt. That's really going to hurt your heart and soul. Your heart and soul, your backbone, your number one guy on the defensive end. Dillon Brooks was actually having a good offensive year for Phoenix. So, he just wasn't defense and brunt work. he was getting it done offensively. So, trying to replace him is going to be very, very hard.
Yeah, that is going to be tough for them. And, again, what an upstart team this year. Nobody expected them to be 7 games above 500 right now. This is a big game because the Lakers are in that 6th spot. The Suns in the 7th spot would love to move up one. A huge difference between 6 and 7. That's the difference between being in the playoffs or having to play in to get into the playoffs. And for LA, we'll see what happens here. Obviously, they've got their big 3 back with Reeves and Luka and LeBron. We'll see if they can make a push. Again, a lot of talk about, will LeBron be coming back next year? The chemistry between Luka and LeBron, it seemed strong at first when Luka came over. Some questions how that's working out right now in LA.
It seems real crazy because I've been seeing a whole lot of reports to where they were definitely doing the analytic thing and saying that when Luka and AR-15 are on the floor, they are a hell of a lot better team than when all 3 of those guys are on the floor. They're
that says a lot.
I don't know about the true numbers, but they say it's more so like a 20-point split between when just 2 of those guys are on the floor compared to all 3.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in Reeves, that's been part of the problem. Obviously, they haven't had those guys together for a lot of games. We know the Lakers aren't good defensively, but boy, anytime if you could put Luka and Reeves together out there, I mean, they've always got a chance to outscore you.
Right, but they say they're 20 points better when it's just Luka and Reeves. When you add LeBron James on, it drops 20 points because, sometimes it's good enough to have 2 guys that need the ball in their hands all the time to score. But when you got 3 guys that need the ball in their hands, it cuts down big time on the shot attempts.
No doubt. A lot of people talking about the end of the game the other night, too, when Luka seemingly passed up an open 3, threw it to LeBron for the final shot, and it didn't go well for the Lakers there. So we'll see. There's a lot going on there. The team recently sold new team president. We'll see how that all looks. Rob Pelinka apparently will stay in place as the GM, but you got to think the Lakers are going to tinker with it a little bit too in the offseason, as many teams will, and what they'll look like next year and whether LeBron will be there or not, that'll be a big question.
Big, huge question, just like I can predict, this is just me predicting, Clay's going to go back to Golden State.
Yep.
I can see LeBron going back to Cleveland. One more year, get your farewell run, and you retire right there where you started.
It would be an epic story, and obviously the Cavs are a team that can win it all. We know that. It's just, how do you work that out from a salary cap perspective? And would LeBron be willing to take a massive pay cut to make that happen?
I mean, what would be more important? I mean, LeBron will never, ever have to stand on the side of the road and hold a sign and say, we'll work for food. All right?
Of course not.
But I'm like this. To complete the story, some way, somehow, LeBron and Cleveland should be able to make that work.
I love it, too. Now, he's already done that once, right? So does he have to do it a second time?
Scooter. To complete the story, okay, if you want the movie to be right and close out right,
yes,
because he can write a book about it and make a movie about it, you want the thing to go full circle.
I agree with you. That would be incredible, but it has to end in a championship, of course.
No, it wouldn't have to end in a championship. It's just all about him going out as a Cleveland Cavalier.
Yeah. Now, assuming they were to keep Harden and Donovan Mitchell in that scenario, how would that conceivably work?
I don't know, because Bronny James is going to have to take one of those seats.
Right, exactly. He comes along.
Yeah, that's where the problem is going to lie. They're going to have to have another seat open for Bronny.
Yeah. Who knows? That would be extremely interesting. And there's some people who feel like LeBron's not coming back next year. He hasn't said anything to that effect. I feel like for sure he's coming back for one more.
I mean, maybe, but like I said, if I'm LeBron and I want to complete this story, I'm going out in Cleveland. And especially we all know LeBron can write his own ticket. Okay?
Yeah.
He'll be able to do whatever he wants to do. And if I can do that, like I said, I'm going to make it go full circle.
Yeah. All right. How about on the other side of town with the Clippers, 27-30? This is a team, obviously, that moved Harden. They got younger. They didn't believe in what they were doing. And honestly, I'm surprised by that because they had made such a great run to get back into a play-in situation. I thought they'd ride it out with what they had. They elected not to do that. They kind of blew things up a little bit. But I guess in their minds, if they can still get into the play-in this year, try and make as much noise as they can, they're playing for the long term as well.
Well, Scooter, if you really want to know what's going on with that, James Harden forced their hand. James Harden went in and said, hey, either you guys are going to up me right now or you trade me, one of the two. And they were like, we can't re-sign you right now, and especially for what he was asking for. So he was like, if you're not going to re-sign me, I'm ready to move on. And the Clippers were like, okay, we'll move you.
Yeah, and at his age, they probably couldn't commit to that, especially with Kawhi. And you know what? Who knows what's going to happen with Kawhi? There's still a lot of speculation that the league's going to come out because of everything that went on earlier in the year and the outside money that he apparently received, that they could rescind his contract and make him a free agent. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Hey, and they sure have put all that on pause, haven't they?
Yeah.
They act like that ain't never even happened, not talking about nothing.
Who knows what's going to happen there? And I can't imagine that happening before the season's over with, right? That's something that's going to happen in the offseason.
And honestly, Scooter, I think it's something that should be corrected now because right now they're in the mix, they're in the run. It can definitely affect how they finish the season. So are you going to give the Clippers a free reign to go ahead and do whatever it is that they're able to do and then say, okay, we're going to punish you after the season's over with? No, I mean, hey, you caught the punishment. You see where it's at. It should be punished right now.
Yeah, but let's just say they don't allow Kawhi to finish the year. They can't make him a free agent for him to go someplace else. That would be wrong.
I don't even know how they're going to be able to do this. This is the first time we've ever seen anything like this happen in the NBA. We've seen crazy things with money in college and, players get caught up or whatever. But for the NBA, this is first time. This is uncharted waters.
It is for sure. We'll see how Adam Silver decides to rule on this one with the Clippers. All right, we've gone around the league, giving you all the other news and notes. When we come back, we'll turn our attention again, Kings and Mavs tonight, as Sacramento tries to even out this road trip at 2-2. We'll give you some of the keys. We'll also give you our Firehouse Restaurant Who's on Fire, and we'll put it in the bank as well. It's game night right here, Sactown Sports 1140.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Many driving ranges have turned to hitting mats, with many of them using mats year-round. But according to Golf Top 100 teacher Martin Chuck, hitting off mats can give you a false sense of security, giving you the impression that you're a decent ball striker. There are a couple of ways to make sure you get the most out of your practice, and he shares them in Golf Magazine. First, approach the ball with purpose. Treat every shot like you would on the course. Stand behind the ball and visualize what you want the ball to do. Then walk in and go through the same routine you use during a round on the golf course. Second, try the towel drill. To make certain you aren't skipping the club head into the ball, place the towel a few inches behind the ball and try not to hit the towel on the downswing. This will help promote ball-first contact. If you disturb the towel, then you know you're hitting the ground too early. Ball-first contact is imperative. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait, and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, this is Henry Turner, a.k.a. the High Flyer. I've done a lot of amazing things on the basketball floor, but now it's your turn to be amazing. For more than 55 years, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento has helped out the youth beat many odds. Too many littles, especially boys, are still waiting for volunteers, Big Brothers. Volunteers to spend at least 4 to 6 hours a month with local youth who needs guidance and support. So donate your time to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area. Get involved. It's easy as a layup. Call 916-646-9300.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Hi, this is Adam Ortner, co-owner of the historic Firehouse Restaurant in Old Sacramento. We're celebrating 65 years of excellence this season. Come visit us where our motto is guests first. Planning a wedding, event, or corporate outing? In addition to our main dining area, we have 5 other private rooms available for gatherings small or large. For more information and menu options, contact our dedicated events team today by visiting our website at firehouseoldsac.com.
They do not know what Sactown brings. When on the low, that's a Sactown thing. Talking about us, it's a bounce out thing.
Welcome back into Game Night. Final segment as we get you ready for Kings Live pregame. Jason Ross will be there with the High Flyer for that. I'm coming to you live from UC Davis tonight, their final home game of the year. They take on Hawaii. The Aggies still fighting for a top seed heading to the Big West Conference tournament in Vegas. You know, High Flyer, March Madness is not that far away. I mean, literally 2 days left here in February. It'll be March time, and this year takes on new meaning for Kings fans. March Madness is something everybody always follows, but this year it'll be followed a little bit more as Kings fans tracking who they want to see the team take in the draft upcoming in June.
Oh, yeah. This is where the rubber hits the road for, true basketball enthusiasts. I know a lot of people that really, they shut down on the NBA when March hit because it's all about how the collegiate level is playing, and, it gets very exciting.
It's going to be a lot of fun for sure. You haven't heard a lot of European talk in terms of players coming from overseas who might be lottery picks. The focus has been all at the college game right now with Peterson and DeBanza and Cam Boozer and the guard out of Houston as well. Do you have a favorite now? Have you been watching more college hoops? Do you have somebody that right now is above and beyond in your mind?
Just been looking at the status quo, the top 4, top 5 players to see, because, I honestly think that the Kings will be in a top 5 situation. So, just looking at those guys. But I'm like everybody else. I will tune in a lot more when March Madness hit so I can get a good look at these guys.
Yeah, a lot of people think Peterson's the top talent, but obviously he's been inconsistent in terms of games he's played, minutes he's played. And does that bother you on the outside looking in if Peterson were the number 1 pick?
No, I definitely had a different type of, outlook as far as what he does and how he's being perceived. I understand, like, today's athlete is not yesterday's athlete. Things are totally different. The access and the accessibility that they have to certain things, we never did have nothing close to that. If I'm Peterson, after I played the game against Banta and I really showed that I stood out, leaps and bounds above him, I would have shut it down.
Yeah.
I would have shut it down right then and there and just went and got me an NBA trainer, an NBA nutritionist, and an NBA weight trainer and went and did my own thing. That way you don't even have to worry about, okay, well, he might get hurt or anything else like that. I would have went on my own campaign and doing my own thing.
Yeah, that's where it's at today. And a lot of people, I mean, it's hard to stomach that because you want somebody who is a team guy, somebody who's going to give everything for the common cause. But what you're saying is a reality check, too.
But, Scooter, here's the thing. you can still be that. Like I said, with today's technology, I mean, you're showing every day on Twitter and Facebook and whatever else you can post on your workouts, your eating regimen. You're showing that you're getting ready for the long haul for your professional career. How can you do it even more? You know, what does he owe Kansas? Nothing. The dude's been there 1 year. The NIL money, I would invest in me and invest in my professional career and make sure that I get there, because what's going to happen if he plays a couple of games and blows out a knee? He ain't going number one.
Well, and I think that's the thing for college football. You see so many players sitting out, especially the bowl games.
Right.
When they're not going for the playoffs. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, same scenario. Why? Because if you look at it, you know, if you put it into percentages, 99.5%, this dude is going number one. He's not going no lower than 2. So why would you even risk that? Because it's a 50-50 chance you might get hurt.
Yeah, no, you make some good points. And obviously what you want to make sure of, and that's where all GMs and their teams and everything else, and Scott Perry included, you're going to do extensive interviews, background checks on everybody to make sure that it all comes out in the wash.
Right, but Scooter, like I said, like how I rolled it out, you know what? If you do those things and you invest the way I said, you know, trainer, nutritionist, strength coach, and you posting that every day of what you're doing, yes, every GM is going to send their guys in to watch you, And if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're not dropping that 1 iota. You're going to be exactly where you projected to come out, and that's number 1.
Yeah. All right, speaking of number 1, let's transition to our Who's on Fire segment right now, brought to you by the Firehouse Restaurant, iconic restaurant in Old Town Sacramento off 2nd Street. Great place to go before the game. Get your game day bites and valet parking for just $15. A great place to get a meal. We talked about the Spurs yesterday, and they're definitely on fire. Anybody else you want to nominate for being on fire, good or bad?
Well, you know, Scooter, I'm not going to say it's on fire, but I'm going to definitely say it's going to be a hot topic for the Sacramento Kings tonight. No Russell Westbrook, so now you have 2 young guards that's going to be able to split those minutes at that number 1 position. It's not on fire, but it makes it very, very warm. I want to see what both of those guys can bring.
Okay, that's fair. This time I'm going to go the direction of the dumpster fire, all right? And it goes to the Chicago Bulls. The Spurs have won 10 straight. The Bulls have lost 10 straight, High Flyer. They were at one point 24-25, looking to get into a potential playoff spot, but they've dropped 10 straight. It has gone real south ever since the trade deadline for them. We know they moved Vucevic, Kobe White, gone, and this team is not playing good basketball right now.
I mean, you moved the last 2 of, let's say, your big 5 that you had, because, you know, Zach and DeMar were there, and then, you know, you move Lonzo Ball. Now you got Kobe White and Vucevic gone. Well, now you're almost starting over. So, yeah, basketball's going to be tough in Chicago.
Yeah, it is going to be very tough. It's interesting. There's a Bulls scout out at the game here in Davis tonight. Interested to get his take on what's going on in Chicago when this show's over with. All right, as for our Put It in the Bank, brought to you by Marin Bank. What do you want to put in the bank tonight?
Oh, put in the bank. I have no idea what that one, Scooter. I'm going to let you take that one. I have no idea what I'm going to put in the bank.
That's fair enough. You gave us a good one for Who's on Fire. What I want to put in the bank tonight, I think it's going to be a rebound effort tonight. We didn't see a lot from either Killian Hayes or Patrick Baldwin last night. And I'm going to say Killian Hayes tonight is going to give us double-digit scoring. We're going to see at least 10 points from him. And for Baldwin tonight, I say we see at least 7 rebounds out of him tonight.
You know what? That would be a great sight for Killian Hayes because, you know, up until now, he has really struggled on the offensive side. I mean,
big time.
I think he's been like, 1 for 9 at one particular point from scoring. Yep. So he hasn't really been able to put the ball in the basket. So if he can get the double digits tonight, that'll be a good sight.
Well, I think the thing here, too, these are 10-day contracts, right? So if there's anybody who's got the most motivation in this game tonight, it's Killian Hayes and Patrick Baldwin.
Oh, no doubt. They got to get it done early. And, you know, it's 2 games in pass, so they got to get it in real quick.
They got to show up and show out tonight. All right, High Flyer, final moment here. Any other things on your mind, anything for tonight's game we should look for?
Always, Scooter. Energy and effort, number one. Number two, I want to see the Kings basketball IQ get a little higher. All the mistakes, all the turnovers they made the other night, be smart about it, understand it, rectify it, and don't let it happen again. Start worrying about trying to raise your basketball IQ.
All right, High Flyer, always good to work with you. Have a great call tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's the High Flyer. He'll stay in studio with Jason Ross. Kings Live pregame's coming up next. It's a 5:30 tip tonight. You've got the Kings and the Mavs. Sacramento, fourth game of the 5-game homestand. They'll move to L.A., take on the Lakers on Sunday night before getting back home next week to take on the Phoenix Suns on Tuesday. Thanks for listening to Game Night. We've got you covered all evening long. Sacramento Kings basketball as they take on the Mavs right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned,